Today I want to read to you a version of a folktale called Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And the one I'm reading today is Goldilocks and the Three Dinosaurs. And this is by Mo Williams. Okay. Once upon a time, there were three dinosaurs: Papa Dinosaur, Mama Dinosaur, and some other dinosaur who happened to be visiting from Norway. And it says, "Home sweet dinosaur, home." One day, for no particular reason, the three dinosaurs made up their beds, positioned their chairs just so, and cooked 3 batches of delicious chocolate pudding at varying temperatures. "Oh boy," said Papa Dinosaur in his loud, booming voice, "it is finally time to leave and go to the, someplace else." Said Mama Dinosaur, "Yes! I sure hope no innocent little succulent child happens by our unlocked home while we are, someplace else." Then the other dinosaur made a loud noise that sounded like a big eagle laugh, but was probably just a polite Norwegian expression. The 3 dinosaurs went someplace else, and were definitely not hiding in the woods, waiting for an unsuspecting kid to come by. Sounds very suspicious to me. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, a poorly supervised little girl named Goldilocks came traipsing along. Just then, the forest boomed with what could have been a dinosaur yelling, "Gotcha!" But I'm pretty sure it was just the wind. The loud noise was immediately followed by another loud noise that sounded kind of like, "Be patient, Papa Dinosaur, the trap is not yet sprung." But that could have been rock falling or a squirrel. And it says 2 miles to very nice home. They crossed out trap, getting closer. Either way, Goldilocks was not the type of little girl who listened to anyone or anything. For example, Goldilocks never listened to the warning about the dangers of barging into strange, enormous homes. So as soon as Goldilocks came across this enormous house, she barged right in and says, "Welcome." Inside, Goldilocks immediately smelled the 3 bowls of delicious chocolate pudding. Said Goldilocks, "that chocolate pudding smells delicious. If I could get all the way up to the top of the counter." Then Goldilocks noticed a very long, tall ladder. That just happened to be there and certainly wasn't left on purpose. Goldilocks climbed up the ladder and found herself face to face with 3 gigantic bowls of chocolate pudding. The first bowl of delicious chocolate pudding was too hot, but Goldilocks ate it all anyway because, hey, it's chocolate pudding, right? The second bowl of chocolate pudding was too cold, but who cares about temperature when you've got a big bowl of chocolate pudding? Not her. She's got her face stuck in it. The third bowl of chocolate pudding was just right, but Goldilocks was on such a roll by now, she hardly noticed. Soon Goldilocks was stuffed like one of those delicious chocolate-filled little girl bonbons, which, by the way, are totally not the favorite thing in the whole world for hungry dinosaurs. Tired and groggy, Goldilocks noticed 3 chairs in the living room. So she climbed down the ladder and walked out of the kitchen. The first chair was too tall. The second chair was too tall. But the third chair was too tall. Goldilocks wasn't going to climb that high to sit in some chair, so she hiked over to the bedroom. When she got there, Goldilocks noticed that the beds were also gigantically big. "What is going on around here?" groaned the exhausted girl. "The bears that live here must be nuts." Just then, the room filled with a loud, booming noise that was either a passing truck or a dinosaur gloating. "A few more minutes and she'll be asleep. Delicious chocolate-filled little girl bonbons are yummier when they are rested." Even a little girl who never listens to anyone or anything had to have heard that. I mean, they're outside the window peeking in. And it says, Home, sweet dinosaur, home. Goldilocks took a minute to stop and think, which was longer than she was used to stopping and thinking. Then, hey, she told herself, this house isn't some bear's house. This is some dinosaur's house. Say what you like about Goldilocks, but she was no fool. As quickly as she could, she ran to the back door and got out of there. And it says, wipe your talons. Just then, a loud plane flew by, which sounded pretty much like a trio of dinosaurs yelling, "Now, charge!" at the Norwegian expression for chewy bon time. Suddenly, and completely coincidentally, the three dinosaurs rushed through the front door. But they were too late. Goldilocks was gone, and all that was left in the house were three disappointed dinosaurs. The end. And the moral is, if you ever find yourself in the wrong house, in the wrong story, if you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave. Now she's visiting the bears. And the moral for the dinosaurs is, lock the back door. If they locked the back door, she wouldn't have been able to escape, would she? So that is our first story for today. Hi everybody. For the second story today I want to share with you is a book that has to do with animal tales. Our summer reading program is tales as in folk tales and tales as in animals, so I thought you would enjoy this one, and it's called I've Got a Tale by Julie, Terrific Tales of the Animal World by Julie Murphy. And here's our first page where you see all the different animals kind of hiding, but their tails are sticking out. I've got a tale. I've got a shimmery tail. My curly tail shines silver in the sunlight. The male Wilson's bird of paradise dances to the show off his striking tail and bright blue head. Would it be enough to win a mate? So there it is. I've got a spinner tail. My tail helps me spin like a ballerina as I leap high into the air. A spinner dolphin can twirl up to 7 times in one leap. I've got a drop tail. My tail can fall off if I'm attacked. The desert night lizard leaves behind its wriggling tail to distract the predator. This gives the lizard a chance to escape. Because when the animal wants to eat it, it sees this movement and goes to attack, and his body gets away. I've got a prop tail. My tail has a spine that helps me stand on the ocean floor. The tripod fish stands as still as a statue on 3 spines as it waits for tiny, tasty creatures to pass underneath in the current. Chow time! Look at that. I've got a stinky tail. My tail is my smelly weapon in stink fights. Male ring-tailed lemurs hold their smelly tails high and wave them at each other. The male with the smelliest tail is the first one to get to greet the females. Beware, I have a stinging tail. Right there. My tail has a pointed tip that's packed with venom. The scorpion stings prey with its tail. Venom in the sting stops the prey from moving, so it's easier to eat. I've got a swatting tail. With a few quick flicks of my tail, I send pesky insects packing. A giraffe uses its tail to help shoo away disease-carrying insects before they can have a chance to bite. I have a singing tail. My tail sings a love song to help me find a mate. Male Anna's hummingbirds dive through the sky with their tails spread wide. Air passing over the tail feathers makes a special sound the females love. I've got a copycat tail. The tip of my tail looks like a spider. See? That does look like a spider. The spider-tailed horned viper hides in cracks with its spider-like tail poking out. The tail's tip wiggles. Hungry birds approach, but the birds don't eat. The snake does. Uh-oh, there's his head. I've got a gripping tail. My tail curls around branches to keep me safe up high. The common ringtail possum holds on tight with its tail and back feet, while its front paws pick leaves, fruit, and flowers to eat. I've got a knockout tail. My super long tail works like a whip to make catching food a snap. The thrasher shark hunts inside a ball of sardines. One swipe of its tail can knock out up to 7 fish. Now that's fast food. I've got a snuggly tail. In my home of snow and ice, my tail doubles as a soft, warm blanket. The Arctic fox lives near the North Pole, where it gets colder than inside your freezer. But the fox sleeps wonderfully warm with its fluffy wraparound tail. Pets have some tools too. What can their tails do? Now with the bunny rabbit, if he's hopping in the winter, you will not see him as easily because he's got the white fluff. And dogs, of course, they wag their tails at you and tell you how they feel. And kitty cats, they'll arch their back and their tail. And we have a horsey who swishes it to chase away the flies, the little goldfish that swishes it to swim, and the mouse. So next time you see those animals, you'll have to think about that. Today's craft, let me get that for you, is a sand art. Just peel it. All the little sand colors are in the pouch. You might want to do it outside because it can get messy. Okay? You guys have fun. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.